Hi mga kawangmat, in this video we will discuss the introduction to statistics. In this video we will explain the basic concepts, uses, and importance of statistics. We will also pose questions and problems that can be solved using statistics, and we will formulate simple statistical instrument. Before we proceed, don't forget to like our video and subscribe na rin po kayo. Thank you! I have here sets of pictures. So as you can see, nakikita na po natin to sa news, sa newspaper, on television. I know you are all familiar with these pictures, and these pictures are all related to statistics. Now let's talk about statistics. So this picture, sabi nga nila, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So ibig sabihin, pag nakita lang natin itong mga pictures na to, kaya nating sabihin o i-interpret kung anong ibig sabihin. Okay? So like for example, this one. So ito, pwede nating sabihin, given by the picture, the electric bill every month. So makikita dito na, noong January, ito ang bill mo. So by pictures or by giving the graph, or illustrations, we can easily understand the message, okay? Kung ano yung gustong iparating sa atin na data, okay? Or yung result. Okay? So sabi nga, a picture is worth 1,000 words. That's why this is certainly true when you are presenting a data. So sabi ko nga kanina, madali nating maintindihan kapag naka-present po yung mga data, itong mga tables na to, and graph, mas madali nating mabasa kung ano ang ibig sabihin. So, by using graphs and charts, it helps people get a sense of data quickly, mas mabilis. They can help to show a relationship, or a trend, or a comparison. So, madali nating nakikita yung comparison o ano bang relationship nitong dalawang to doon sa nauna. So, mas mabilis nating maintindihan. Compare doon o kumpara doon sa babasahin natin siya na nakaparagraph. So when we say statistics, it is a branch of mathematics that deals with collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpreting data. So when we talk about statistics, this is where we are studying. Meron tayong problem na pag-aaralan natin na kung saan we will be collecting data, we will be organizing the data, we will analyze the data, and after that, we will interpret the data. So these 4 steps will be used in conducting a study. So ano ba tong data? Kasi we will be collecting data, organizing data, analyzing data, and interpreting data. So what do we mean by data? So these are the set of values of qualitative or quantitative data. So when we say qualitative and quantitative, this will be discussed to the next video tutorial. Okay? So pag sinabi nating data, ito yung set of values na nakuha natin based doon or from our variables. Ano ba tong variables na to? Ito yung pinag-aaralan natin. Ito yung gagamitin natin sa ating study, like the educational attainment, the gender, the grades, the performance level. So yun po yung mga variables, kung ano yung hinihingi natin sa ating mga respondents. Okay? So dun sa variables natin, nakakakuha tayo ng data. Okay, so yung data po na yun na po yung set of values after nating mag-collect, i-organize, i-analyze, at i-interpret so that we can come up with the conclusion. So ano ba itong mga conclusions na to? Ito yung result. Okay, ito yung result after nating makuha at pag-aralan, i-interpret yung data na nakuha natin. So, from your data, this is from which conclusions can be drawn to answer the problem posed at the start of the study. So, sabi ko nga kanina, itong 4 na to are the steps when you are starting your study o yung research mo. And then, after that, you can come up with conclusions to answer the problem o kung ano yung problem or question na binigay mo o hinahanap mo simula nung umpisa. So what are the uses of statistics? So statistics can be applied generally. So pwede natin siyang makita kahit saan. Actually, nakikita natin siya kahit saan, pero we are not familiar that that is already statistics. But take note that we have what's so-called proper use of statistics. So later I will explain that. So statistics can be applied generally. It is an essential tool in the following fields. So saan ba ginagamit ang statistics? Ginagamit siya for education. So, statistical tools are used to get information. So, yung enrollment na kinukuha yearly, yung finance, physical facilities, o yung ng school, and etc. So, those are all statistics. So, we are actually applying statistics in education. Also, we are applying statistics in government. So, the statistics is used to provide the necessary data to guide them in managing the affairs of the government. Lalo na, di ba, when it comes to yung hinihiram natin, yung budget na binibigay sa bawat agencies, yung response natin sa situation natin ngayon, yung COVID, di ba, yung pandemic. So, paano inaalat yung budget o paano nagbibigay ng benefits dun sa mga o ayuda, yung na tinatawag natin, dun sa mga mamamayan. So, yun ay based lagi sa ating statistics. So, based dito sa population na to, ilan ang bilang nito sa ganitong location, sa ganitong area. So, those are all statistics. So, we are applying statistics in government also. Another is medicine and physical sciences. Bago tayo mag-come up with the vaccine, ilang study or research and experiment pa ang ginagawa ng ating mga medical practitioner para so we can come up with efficacy and efficiency of the vaccine. So pinag-aaralan yan, hindi yan pwedeng basta-basta. Dapat aralin. So kinokompara yan, kinocompare kung okay na ba. So hanggat hindi pa okay, hindi sila tumitigil. Kaya doon tinitingnan yung efficacy. Okay? So, ina-apply din yan ng mga medical practitioners natin. Ginagamit po nila yan sa experiments, sa mga researchers, kapag gagawa sila ng panibagong formula, gamot, na ibibigay sa ating market. And then, statistics is also applied in psychology. Paano po? So, people are best understood when evaluated to be able to systematize, analyze, and interpret data. So, dito po natin na-apply ang statistic, lalo na when we are taking entrance exam, especially in college. Diba, sometimes, meron tayong interview sa guidance counselor. Bibigyan tayo ng test to see the aptitude, yung meron tayong tinatawag na aptitude test, personality test, and then yung ating intelligence score. Diba? Kasi kapag minsan naman dun sa result kasi nung aptitude test, dun tayo nakikilala o dun nababasa nung psychologist kung anong klase o paano ka maiintindihan ng isang tao. And then we also have the sociology. It is also applied in sociology. How? It is vital in the study of the conditions of the society in which man lives. So, ina-apply din po natin yan sa society. Okay? Lalong-lalo na po ngayon. And then, we are also applying statistics in business and economics. Lalong-lalo na po ito. So, we have here the means of exploration of the new markets of a product, forecasting business trends, quality of goods produced. Especially ngayon na pupuno na tayo ng mga business centers, and then especially in this time of pandemic. So, gamitin na lang natin yun as example na naka-base tayo doon sa result ng kung ano man yung trend nung COVID. Bumababa man ang COVID positive natin. So, naka-base doon kung anong quarantine meron tayo, which results of the closing of businesses and markets. Okay? So, ang tendency na apektuhan din yung ating ekonomiya. So, yun po yun. That's why statistics is also used in business and economics. So again, the uses of statistics, we have education, government, medicine and physical sciences, psychology, sociology, business and economics, and many more. So what is the importance of statistics? So the study of statistics is important because the society frequently organizes and expresses data numerically. So lahat tayo ngayon nakabase sa numeric result. Pag may nakita tayong ganitong number, mabilis tayong ma-convince. Okay? So, nababasa natin ay kapag tumataas ang numerical value nito, may ibig sabihin pag bumababa. Okay? So, nakabase tayo dun sa numerical result. Meron tayong predictions, newspaper ads, election results, surveys, and report card. So, ilan lamang ito sa mga nakikita natin na kung saan statistics shapes our lives and influences our decisions. So, gamit itong mga to. Minsan, pag may napapanood tayo o may nababasa tayo sa election results, lalo na sa survey, lalo na itong survey, madalas yan kapag nanonood tayo ng TV, di ba? Makikita natin na out of ganito, yung SWS survey. So, based doon sa mga data na yon, tayo, nagiging, nako-convince tayo. 'Di ba? It influences our decision na ay ganun pala. So ikaw mapapaisip ka and you will easily get affected based dun sa napapanood at nakikita mo. Okay? So statistics is often used by media experts to inform or mislead consumers. So minsan ang statistics ay nami-misuse po natin. Misuse and mislead consumers. So ano po bang ibig sabihin nito? Kaya dapat it is important to process statistical information effectively to function as knowledgeable citizens in the society. So, mahalaga po na pag-aralan nating mabuti. Tuwing may makikita tayong result dyan, may papakita sa ating result ng survey o prediction, nagsasabi ng mga predictions, sa nababasa natin sa newspaper ads at naririnig natin sa TV at radio. So, minsan dapat i-process din po natin yon. Paano ba natin malalaman o para ma-process natin kung yung statistics ba na nababasa at naririnig natin ay true? So, the problems and questions that can be solved using statistics should be clear, specific, realistic, manageable to conduct data collection, and allow statistical analysis. So, halimbawa, anong pinakamagandang brand o brand ng shampoo? So, paano na-advertise yung gano'n na yung shampoo na pinakamagandang gamitin, paano kinuha yung data, paano ginather yung data. Okay, so importante po yun. Hindi pwedeng sabihin na itong brand na to ang pinakamaganda, ito ang pinakamabili. How? Okay, so dapat meron tayong basis doon. And dapat it allows statistical analysis. Kung hindi nag-conduct ng data collection at walang statistical analysis, then that is not statistics. Okay? The question or the problem must be solved, must be clear, specific, realistic, and manageable. Let's have an example. Explain the misuse of statistics in the given statements below. So, I trust him 200%. Okay, so this is one of the misuse of statistics because minsan sinasabi natin, I trust you 101%. Right? But in statistics, it's always 100%. Okay? We do not have 101%, 200%. Okay? Another example. Nothing cleans the laundry better than a Wonder detergent bar. So, how will you know that detergent bar is better? Okay? So, paano natin nasabi? Paano niya pinakita o anong ginawa niya? Paano siya nag-conduct para makumpara niya itong detergent bar sa ibang ginagamit sa panlaba? And then, we also have crazy sale up to 120% discount. So, do we have 120% discount? So, we do not have 120% discount since pag sinabi nating statistics, the total percentage must always be 100%. Another example, suppose oil prices went up 10% last year and 10% again this year. Over 2 years, sa loob daw po ng 2 taon, oil prices went up by 20%. So, sinabi niya rito na 20% ang itanaas niya because dun sa first year, tumaas siya 10%. And then, yung sumunod na taon, tumaas siya ng 10%. So, tinotal niya yon. Kaya ang sabi niya, over 2 years, 20% ang itinaas. So, what is wrong with this? Ano ang misuse ng paggamit ng statistics dito? So, let us assume that the oil prices started at 50 pesos. So, halimbawa, 50 pesos yung price niya. Okay. At 10% increase last year, dun sa unang taon, tumaas siya ng 10%. So, kunin natin yung 10% ng 50 and that is 5. So, mag-add tayo ng 5. So, ibig sabihin, dun sa unang taon na tumaas siya ng 10%, nagtaas siya ng 5 pesos, which is 10% ng 50. So, ibig sabihin ng total niya na nung unang taon ay 55 pesos. Now, tumaas daw ulit ng 10% dun sa sumunod na taon. So, ang kukunan po natin ng 10% ay yung last na price. So, di ba nagtaas siya ng 10% dito, naging 55 na ang kukunan po natin ng 10% ay yung 55 po. Okay, hindi po ito. So, kunin natin yung 10% ng 55 and that is 550 pesos. So, yung 550 pesos, ito yung itinaas niya dun sa pangalawang taon. So, ang total ng increase is 5 plus 550, that is 1050. I-add natin ngayon yung 1050 dun sa 50, that is 60 pesos, ay 60 pesos and 50 centavos. So, dun sa 6050, yun po yung itinaas niya ng 2 taon. Na 10% sa unang taon and then another 10% dun sa pangalawang taon. So, yung 60-50 na kung saan may additional siya na 1050 dahil 10% sa first year, 10% again sa sumunod na taon, 1050, kung kukunin natin ang 1050, ilang percent yung 1050 ng increase. Okay? So, kung isusolve natin siya, that is 21%. Pag kinuha mo yung 1050 nung 50 pesos, yung increase dun sa original price na hindi pa nag-increase, this is actually 21%, hindi po 20%. Okay? So, ito po yung common mistake or misuse of statistics na kapag nagtaas tayo ng 10% and then another 10% sa sumunod na taon, ina-add po natin yung percentage. Hindi po ganon. Okay? So, yung 1050 na itinaas niya po is actually 21% of the original price. Another. A survey was conducted to know whether the company must allow cell phones at work. They collected data by asking the respondents to send their votes via text message. So, what is wrong with this? Ano po ang misuse or mali po dito? The process of collecting information does not covers all possible respondents. Some of the respondents don't have cell phones, so hindi naman po lahat may cellphone. Hindi naman po lahat ay nagdadala ng cellphone sa work. Okay? So, ang mali dito, since ang kinukuha niyang data, ang gusto niyang kuning data ay kung yung mga company ba ay pinapayagan na gumamit ng cellphone sa trabaho, paano kung yung worker ay walang cellphone at hindi dinadala ang cellphone, nasa bahay lang. So, yun po ang mali dito. Okay? So, the process of collecting information does not covers all possible respondents. Some of the respondents don't have cell phones. How about this one? So, this is the enrollment by grade level. So, we have grade 7, grade 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So, the graph shows the total number of students in a school classified by grade level. So, by looking at the graph, what seems to be unacceptable? Okay, there must be a question mark here. Okay, so, as you can see, if we will add all the percentages of the given data by grade level, the sum is not 100. Okay? So, what seems to be unacceptable? The percentages do not add up to 100%. So, yun po ang mali po dito sa ating data. Let's talk about the statistical instrument. So, how do we form instruments in statistics? So, ano ba itong instrument? So, these are devices or tools used to gather data. Some of the common statistical instruments are questionnaires, checklists, rating scale, test items, and etc. So, madalas po ang ginagamit kapag instrument ay questionnaire. So, minsan sa school kayo, kapag minsan may pupunta sa school at magbibigay ng papel, tapos magpapasagot, questionnaires po yun. Those are all examples of questionnaire. And that is one of the examples of statistical instrument. Minsan naman kapag merong pumunta sa school na about bakuna, di ba, meron tayong survey na binibigay, interviewin, iuuwi nyo sa bahay, tatanungin kung ano na yung mga bakunang nakuha nyo, kung may allergy ka bago ka bakunahan. So, yun din po ay survey. Okay? Questionnaires din po yun. So, those are all example of statistical instruments. So, ito po yung ginagamit natin para makakuha po tayo ng data. Kung ano yung gusto nating malaman dun sa start ng ating study. So, these instruments are used to gather essential information to answer the given problem. Take note that when we are constructing or formulating an instrument, dapat it must be reliable. Okay? The reliability of an instrument means that it always gathers the relevant data. So make sure na kapag magfo-form po tayo ng instrument, lalo na sa questionnaires and checklists, okay? Ito yung madalas ginagamit. For us to gather data, dapat yung questions na ilalagay po natin o yung mga variable, yung hinahanap natin, dapat po relevant po doon sa ating study. Okay? O doon sa problem na gusto nating hanapan ng solution or answer. So, it must be reliable. It must be a relevant data only. And validity, it should be valid. So, ano ba ibig sabihin ng valid? Or yung validity ng instrument mo? It means that it gathers accurate data. So, hindi lang po dapat yung relevant data. So, dapat accurate din po yung data na nakukuha natin. So, when you are preparing your questionnaire or yung instrument po natin, it must be, dapat sinecheck po natin yung reliability and validity po nito. Meron po tayong test na ginagamit po dyan. The reliability test and the validity test. Now, in formulating questionnaires, we have two types of question. First is the closed format question. It is a question whose response is restricted. So, kumbaga, limited lang po. So, halimbawa, multiple choice. Pag multiple choice, 4 lang ang options mo doon. So, limited. Okay? Meron ka lang isang pipiliin na sagot. Another is yung true or false. So, kapag true or false, it's either true or false lang po ang sagot natin. Yes or no, agree, disagree. Okay? So, yun lang po yung mga examples ng closed format question. Pag sinabing closed format, restricted, limited. Okay? Hindi ka makakapagbigay ng sagot na wala dun sa option. So, sila magpo-provide ng sagot, ang gagawin mo, pipili ka lang. And then, another type of question is we have the open format question. So, it is a question whose response is not limited. So, it is the opposite of the closed format question. So, pag sinabi nating open format, it's not limited. It elicits a thorough answer or explanation. Ito yung tinatawag rin nating open sentence. Okay? Yung kapag, halimbawa, why did you choose this strand? Okay. Bakit yun ang pinili mo? 'Di ba magagawa tayo doon ng reason, okay? Mag-e-explain tayo doon bakit yun ang pinili natin. So, kumbaga, free. Free ka na i-express yung sagot mo. So, that's why it's called open format question. So, like for example, bakit favorite color mo yung ganto? Okay, bakit sa tingin mo yun ang pinakamaganda para sa'yo? So, yun po yung mga sample ng open format question. Yung kayo po ang magbibigay ng sarili nyong sagot, okay, based sa inyong personal opinion or answer. Okay, let's try. Write C if the item is a closed format question and O if it is an open format question. Why do you need a cellular phone? So, why? This is an open format question. Next, is calamansi a vegetable? So, this is answerable by yes or no. So, limited po yung sagot natin dito. So, this is a closed format question. Next, which do you prefer? Milk tea or soda? So, you only have two options. This is a closed format question. On a scale of 1 to 5, how satisfied are you in the product? So, ito madalas ginagamit to kapag sa mga delivery, yung sa mga food delivery, mga ganon. 'Di ba? Yung kung sino yung nag-deliver sa atin, i-rate natin siya. So, yung mga parcels, yan i-rate natin. So, 'di ba, meron daw mga scale, yung mga 5-star, 4-star. So, limited lang po yung ating option. So, that is a closed format question. Which part of the event did you like most? So, this is an open format question. Next, identify which of the following questions can be solved using statistics. Okay, so tatandaan, when we are formulating questions, manageable siya. Okay, manageable dapat to conduct data collection at dapat hindi mag-require siya ng analysis. If it does not require an analysis, then that is not statistics. So what is the favorite color of your math teacher? So this is no. Okay, so this is not which of the following questions can be solved using statistics? So number 1 is no. Why? It only requires one response and does not need to use analysis. How often does the mermaid visit Manila Bay? So number 2, this is no. Okay, why? The question is what? Unrealistic. Okay, so parang ang ano nito, unrealistic, hindi makatotohanan. Okay, and then what movie did Jonah and Bea watch? So this is again a no, kasi it only requires one response at hindi po kailangan ng analysis dito. Tatandaan, kapag statistics, we have 4 process: collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpreting the data. Next, what is the most played Mobile Legends by grade 10 students? So, number 4, this is a yes. Kasi dito, kukuha ka ng data, and then, makikita mo yung result, i-interpret mo yun, i-analyze mo, i-organize, and then magko-collect ka. So, marami pong response ang need natin dito. Kailangan nating mag-conduct ng data collection, and it requires analysis. So, number 4 is a yes. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell para updated kayo for more video tutorials. This is your guide in learning your math lessons, your Wow Math channel.